I'm Bob Coleman, and we're talking Main Street and the small business lenders who help it grow. Thank you to this week's sponsor, Lend 360, September 8th through 10th in Chicago. The must-attend event connecting every angle on the online financing industry. We got a lot of news this week, but here's an interesting conversation Lance Sexton and I had about what do you do when you have a company that has, or an entrepreneur who has 17 affiliated financial statements.
Lance, I got a great question from the webinar. I made a comment that said, if you are dealing with someone that has 17 affiliated companies, minor ownership in a couple of them, cross-company transactions, I said, it is not the underwriter's job to spread it all and try to figure it out. I said, you're going to throw it back to a CPA, to a chief financial officer, and have them put it all together on a consolidated basis, both on a financial statement, balance sheet, as well as a global cash flow analysis. Lance, what's your opinion about that?
I agree with that 100%, Bob. A couple years ago, I had a project that was in a NAICS code where the size standard was number of employees, and the number of employees was 1,000. They had 21 affiliate businesses, Bob, and a pretty robust revenue level, good profits, good cash flow, but they did qualify for SBA loan based on the size standard. A company that has a number of affiliates is going to have a strong relationship with a CPA. I'm sure your institution is going to want to spread those affiliates anyway. It doesn't take away the need to collect financial information on the affiliates, but in the underwriting phase, it's great to have that consolidated financial stuff. I like to get it in a spreadsheet, Bob, where it has a consolidated column, then it has a column for each of the affiliate businesses, but it really helps tremendously in the underwriting of that SBA loan. And I think it creates an efficiency in getting from an initial discussion with the borrower to an answer on their loan request. So I agree 100%.
I think it's very unfair to dump all this onto an underwriter. If you're missing one tax return, one company, you don't get the true picture. You have all these intercompany transactions, payables, receivables. We want to wipe all those out. And I don't believe the underwriter should take their time to do that. They definitely need to have the CPA do it. And then, as you said, let them do it. And then you have the underlying data that you can spread and verify what's happening.
Absolutely.
But I don't believe the underwriter should. It's very unfair for a business development officer to dump this on an underwriter because they don't have the tools to do it.
Quite honestly, Bob, you want to see that consolidated information before you even move to the underwriting phase to get a global picture of the affiliate businesses and the impact they have on one another and what the global cash flow is.
The SBA Inspector General issued a new audit. I think I talked about it last week, but here I talk about it a little bit more in my credit underwriting webinar. Okay, this is from last week. So this is a nice little break. Please read this. But we have a $1.2 million early defaulted loan. An early defaulted loan is a loan that defaults within 18 months and goes into liquidation. You are mandated in the 1920 to certify that this company has enough working capital for 12 months. So you've signed this 1920. Here we have a loan that went into default after 7 loan payments. By definition, the underwriter did not do their job. The underwriter did not structure this transaction, so there was sufficient capital for 12 months. You're certifying that in the 1920. SBA demands that you put together a financing structure that takes care of the borrower for the next 12 months, whether that's a side SBA Express loan or additional working capital or whatever it is. I was in Atlanta last week, and we have 2 clips for you regarding a P3 infrastructure event for rural America. First, listen to Bill Broydrick, the lobbyist for the National Rural Lenders Conference. I'm talking with Bill Broydrick, the lobbyist for the National Rural Lenders Roundtable. Bill, Farm Bill, and how does it impact the lenders who are watching this?
Well, first of all, there will be a Farm Bill. Although it's a very long, complicated process, I'm confident that before Congress leaves in this fall, that they will pass a Farm Bill. There's a very important expansion that changes the availability of community facilities, wastewater, and broadband up to communities of 50,000 people. And for example, in just a state like Wisconsin, there are 26 new communities that would be eligible, and it will really change the market for the community facilities, wastewater, and broadband programs.
B&I, community facilities, what are we talking about authorization levels for rural America?
So in the bill, there's mandatory funding for the REAP program. The programs for B&I and the other programs are all really done through appropriated funds, and those appropriations bills will probably pass before the end of the year. And clearly there's enough money for the current demand in each one of those programs.
Bill, thank you very much. Sure. Thomas Kimsey of Thomas USAF also spoke about the event. Thomas Kimsey, President, Thomas USAF, one of the co-sponsors of P3 infrastructure. What is P3?
Public-private partnership. So we're excited to be here in Atlanta today to host this public-private partnership P3 meeting here. We hosted one in Denver last month for the West, and we're here today to host the East, the CF and USDA.
Great turnout. You've got the USDA officials, you've got private lenders, you've got a lot of support. How many people are in the room?
We have about 150 here today, Bob, and we've got a great group, as you said, the USDA officials, lenders, and a lot of industry experts as well. So we're educating the audience, and we look forward to continuing to partner with the agency.
And what do you want the takeaway to be for the people in this room?
Well, the takeaway I want to be is that, we brought industry experts in to educate the audience on how we can meet the Secretary and the President's initiatives of this public-private partnership in rural infrastructure. And, rural America is continuing to struggle. They need access to capital, and we're here to partner to make sure rural America has that access to capital.
Thomas, thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.
Finally, Jelena Kuchar of Benetrends, one of our America West videos. Listen to what she has to offer for the small business lending industry. Jelena Kuchar, Benetrends, welcome to this SBA conference. Why are you here?
Thank you very much. So I'm here to represent the company, Benetrends. We are a consulting company, and we basically getting financing for people who start in businesses or doing business acquisitions.
And SBA?
We do SBA, and we also do 401k rollovers. That's getting access to people's retirement funds, tax deferred and penalty free.
And talk about that tax deferred part. How 401k, you're hit with all these penalties. Yeah. How are you able to pull that off?
So we have a lot of corporate refugees that have been working with in corporate America for many years, and they have a lot of retirement funds that they cannot get access to without paying taxes and penalties. And it's done in 4 steps. So we create a C corporation, then we'll design a new retirement plan that buys out their existing retirement plan, and the proceeds from that sale goes into corporate checking account, and it's tax deferred, penalty free.
Give me an example of one transaction on what they did with the money and the loan and what they bought or what happened.
Sure. So we have a franchise that I work with quite a lot, Doctopia, so it's a higher investment. So they probably about anywhere between 700,000 to $1 million. So you need to have 20 to 30% cash injection into the business. Not many people have 200,000 to 300,000.
But they do have it in their 401k.
In the 401k, exactly. So we get access to that. So if you have 200,000 in your 401k, if you were to take early distribution, you would pay taxes and penalties and end up with about 120,000. If we do the rollover, if you have 200,000 with a rollover, you still get access to 200,000, and that can be used in conjunction with SBA loan for the cash injection.
Jelena, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you for joining us for the Coleman Report Update and for supporting America's Main Street, one entrepreneur at a time.